What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're going back to Alter Bridge. Yes, indeed, Alter Bridge fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Matthew Wright, and Matthew wanted to see me react to this song by Alter Bridge called Fable of the Silent Sun. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Alter Bridge, no surprise there. And the video has 335,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Fable of the Silent Sun. That's all I got. It does say Alter Bridge up here, so I know the signs say that we're gonna be fine, but you never know. Look, I'm using the link I was given. Okay, so if we're not in the right place, don't blame me. Blame Matthew. He's the one who gave me the link. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Lost where we can't escape, blind to our own decay, lamenting when we can't let go until we die alone. We hope that it's not too late. I used to lie awake and sing this song. Fear is a hollow place, a dark beyond. The coldest season that I've ever known.
I like the direction of the song. It's not your typical, straight ahead 4/4 rocker. There's a little more happening there. It's got that nice laid back feel. In a halftime feel as well. You got the snare on 3, which is really nice. I'm not sure if that's halftime or halftime feel. I actually think it's halftime feel. It feels like the tempo's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it feels to me. Now it could be halftime. It could be just 1, 2, 3, 4 with the snare on 2 and 4. But I don't know. I think it has to do with the cymbal work. The cymbal work's kind of giving me the feel of the tempo is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could be wrong, but that's how it feels to me. It's had growth from the very beginning all the way to where we are right now. It's been constantly growing, which is really nice. It shows evolution. It shows some thought went into making this happen, as far as when voices come in, how voices come in. That's really nice. It shows that they were actually using their brain power when they made this song, when they actually created and wrote this song. That's really nice. It shows effort, which I'm always a big fan of. Instrumentally, everything sounds really good. Vocally, okay, I like the vocals. I do. In particular, here's where I'm going to kind of contradict myself. I love the harmonies. I do. I really dig on the harmonies, like where they're going, how they're being spaced. Sometimes we're in thirds, sometimes we're in fourths, sometimes we're in fifths. I love the harmony work. I absolutely do. My only gripe, though, is that the harmonies are being used way too much. It seems like, I feel like about 80% of the song has had harmonies on the vocals so far. When you overuse harmonies, it takes away from the uniqueness of it. It takes away from the specialty of it. And it becomes, I hate to say it, it becomes commonplace. And it flips. Rather than the harmonies being the thing that everybody looks forward to, and it's the variation, it's the specialty. It becomes the other way around. Now the solo voicing from Miles, now that sounds special. Now that sounds unique, and it shouldn't be that way. I feel like the harmonies are just being used way too much. They're being done well. They're being done very well, and they sound great. They really do. But if we were to cut the amount of harmonies used in half, it would make the harmonies far more effective. So, anyway, I know people are going to be like absolutely triggered by that probably, but listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think and what I feel. So, anyway, let's get back in this. Let's see where this goes. That was much better. It felt stronger without the harmonies.
Those were the darkest days, I never will return. This I confess,
Okay.
so you may learn. Convey the truth, the pain, so you won't have to hide. Please never second guess these words. Like a thief.
Got that 60s note kicking in the background. That's nice. bum, bum, bum. Yeah.
Deep regrets with waves of anger to respect. We face a deep.
That's so effective. Those upbeat accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Yeah, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Man, it feels good. No, actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm sorry. Those aren't 8 notes. Those are 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and yeah. Yeah. Okay, so those are 16ths. Okay. So every other 16th. So on the E and the E and the I like that. It's very effective. It's super effective. And the thing is, it's so simple. It's not like you need a whole, lot of theory behind it. It's simply just, follow that 16th note pattern, take out the 1 and the and play on the E and the It's straight ahead, but it's so freaking effective, man. It really is. And I think it has to do, I don't know, maybe it has to do with the snare placement behind it, and everywhere else with the snare on the 2 and the 4. And then out of nowhere, here comes those 16th note up, 16th note accents. It's really nice. Very attention getting. Still having the same issue with the harmonies. They're being done well. They're absolutely being done well, but it's just being overused. If they were to seriously cut the usage of the harmonies in half, the harmonies would be way more effective, way more impactful. But as it stands right now, there's nothing special about them at this point. They're just commonplace, and it's kind of a shame because Alter Bridge is known for having great harmonies, but this is just too much.
Demons with intentions to protect. Our future rangers forwards naked. Like a phoenix rising from the dust, I've come to lift you up. Like a new day dawning from above in turn, so you may learn a lesson from the things I've done. A fable of the silent sun, a warning of the things to come, foreshadowing the end for some who dare.
Switch to 7/8. Nice.
A fable of the silent sun, a warning of the things to come.
7.
Forgive me for the things I've done. I have lost it all.
Nice switch up. Are we changing up again? Almost like a double time feel. No, that's not a double time feel. They switched to double time.
I used to lie awake
Okay.
and sing this song. Fear is the hollow place, a dark beyond.
Good. No harmonies.
The coldest season that I've ever known. But it's over now. I've learned from my mistakes. But it's over now. I've learned from my mistakes. Like a phoenix rising
I already have a score. I don't even need to think about this. I already have a score in mind. Yep. And I already feel good about it. So I do not need to get my thoughts together. I'll just transition over and I'll see you there. Well, there you go, folks. That was Alter Bridge with Fable of the Silent Sun. This was a request from Matthew Wright. Yep, my score did not change. I didn't have to think at all about this. This score came to me. There was about, it was right about before the time I felt like we were about to end. I was like, yeah, I know exactly the score I'm going to give. And then I felt the ending come. I'm like, perfect. The timing could not have been better. Yeah, I already know exactly what I'm going to say. I already have the score, so let's get to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.8. Yep, 8.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.8. What does that mean? Well, an 8.8 would translate to a great skill rating because overall, I think this was a great song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A letter grade. So there you go, an 8.8, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, look, I'm gonna say some things that may upset a few people, but it's the reality of the situation, folks, and it is what it is. So let's get to my explanation here. The beginning of the song. I'm gonna be honest with you. The first half of the song, it was really good. Okay, if I'm being honest, it felt really good. It sounded really good. I liked what was happening with the direction of the song as far as feel. Not just, coming up with a 4/4, straight ahead rocking, snare on 2 and 4 pattern. Now they definitely put some thought into this. Okay, they absolutely did. And the song did grow. The song did evolve at the beginning for like the first minute and a half to 2 minutes. There was a lot of growth. There was a lot of evolution. Okay, there absolutely was. And I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. They used a strategy of utilizing the entrance of additional voices. They didn't just add additional voices, they pulled some as well to make room for more voices, stronger voices, more powerful voices. I like that. I liked everything about that. Then we got to about the 2-minute mark and we stopped growing for about the next 2 minutes. It didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of spun its wheels a little bit. And my opinion went from here to about here. And I was like, oh, okay, now it's starting to drag a little bit. Now, here's the cool thing though. At about the 4-minute mark, things really started to turn around. We started playing with feel a lot more. We played with straight time feel. We played with a halftime feel. We played with a double time feel. We even changed tempo, not once, but twice, to facilitate a little bit of a different direction as far as what was happening within the drums, what was happening within the playing style. Instead of having more of a dirgy feel, we went to a straight ahead rock to a little bit of a, I hesitate to say a shuffle feel, but it kind of was a little bit, going into the ending. That was nice. It was really nice, really well thought out. Here's what it comes down to. It's not like they went into a room and wrote this in 15 minutes. There's no way you're going to write a song like this in 15 minutes. This required some time. This required some thought. This required some effort. And it absolutely showed in the final product. So I got to give props to them for that. Once we kicked in at about the halfway mark and things started to play around, hell, we even put 7/8 in there. They changed from 4/4 to 7/8. How cool was that? That felt nice, and they made it groove. You take all these things into account, and the time from the 4-minute mark on, the time flew by. Those last 4 minutes did not feel like 4 minutes. those last 4 minutes felt like about 2. When I felt the song wrapping up, I was like, really? We can't be at the end. And I went and I moved my cursor, and there we were with only like, 20 seconds left. And I was like, I don't believe that. We flew by on those last 4 minutes. I was getting ready to pause and talk, and I'm like, nope, there's no point. We only got like 25 seconds left. It's kind of pointless to pause now. 4 minutes flew by fast. So that was really fun. I really dug the second half. If I'm being honest, I dug the second half way more than I dug the first half. And this is where things are going to get really interesting when it comes to my score. The instrumentation. I loved everything that was happening in the instrumentation, from the drumming to the guitar playing, the bass playing. All the instrumentation across the board was great. I loved everything about it. If I'm being honest, I feel like the songwriting was a little stronger though. I had this, and this is not an exaggeration, I had this originally up in the 9s. Like, now don't get excited here, okay? It was low 9s, like 9.0, 9.1 is where I had this song originally when I was thinking about things. But then it was one factor that brought the score down to an 8.8. I like the vocals. I do. I think the vocals were done well. I think they were well executed. I think they were dynamically, I think they were utilized very well. When the song needed, Miles to belt, he belted, and when he needed to bring it down, he brought it down. I think it was very smart usage of vocalizations. I think his delivery was really nice, and I'm gonna say I liked the harmonies. I did. I think the harmonies were very well done. And it wasn't just generic. It wasn't just thirds all the way through. No, there were minor thirds, there were major thirds, there were fourths, there were fifths. They utilized a variety of harmonies placed in very strategic places where they would be utilized best. I liked everything I heard in the harmonies. My biggest gripe, though, is the fact that they used the harmonies way too much. 3/4 of the song was harmonized, and to some extent, I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to upset people when I say this, but frankly, I really don't care. It became a joke. It became a parody of itself because they were overusing it. If they had seriously cut their harmonies in half and just used half of them, they would have made the harmonies a lot more impactful. The harmonies would have been a lot more special. When they came in, it would have been a nice surprise. Unfortunately, we overused them, and the surprise was gone. The specialness was gone. The uniqueness was gone. The impactfulness was gone. It became commonplace, so much so that it became laughable. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel good about that. I really don't. And I know a lot of people there's going to be other people out there who are like, well, I love the harmonies, and the more harmonies, the better. I'm glad you appreciate the harmonies. I do. I'm really glad you liked what you heard. And if that's how you honestly feel, that's wonderful. I'm not trying to discredit your feelings and how you feel about the usage of the harmonies. Me personally, I felt they were very overused. I've heard Alter Bridge do songs where they really had a great blend of solo singing and harmonization. And their harmonization, they would utilize, maybe 25% of the vocals would be harmonized. That makes way more sense, way more impactful, way more effective. When you get past 50% on the harmonizations, that's a bit much. I wouldn't even go to 50. But going to 50, if you go to 50, I mean, it works, but it's walking a fine line. Anything past 50, way too much. And like I said, 75% of the vocals on the song were harmonized. So, I'm sorry, but I felt like that made the song almost sound parody-ish. Like, it really did. And that's what brought the score down from, like I said, like a 9.0, 9.1, somewhere in there, down to an 8.8. I know that's not what Alter Bridge fans want to hear, but that's honestly how I came up with the score. But even still, even with the drop going down from the 9s, from the very low 9s to the very high 8s, it's not that big of a deal, folks. It really isn't, okay? The letter score didn't change, okay? Even if we were at 9.1, we still would be getting an A letter grade. The same letter grade we're getting with the 8.8, okay? The only difference is, instead of having a great scale rating, it would have gone up to, you know, amazing, outstanding, impressive, and we would have gotten 5 stars instead of 4. But it's not that big of a loss, folks. It really isn't, okay? And like I've always said, I'm looking at this objectively, yes, but ultimately it does come down to opinion, okay? But this is my opinion. This is how I feel, and that's the score I'm giving, is that 8.8. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.8, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later, peace.